Hello my friends. So I have mascara on. I had to go run some errands, so I just threw on mascara. And the one that I threw on is a secret, but it's so good. I've been using it. There it is. Okay, that's all I can show you. But you'll see soon. But I have been testing the heck out of it. And this is it without my technique, my curl after. It looks so good. And it's so nice and fluffy, but there's really nice definition and length. Ooh, look at that from the side. Ooh, love it. You'll get to know about it soon. What are we doing? I actually have a business dinner tonight, so I'm gonna do makeup that kind of goes with that. I feel like we're in the season of blushes. I need to walk over there and get my new House Labs ones. I'm gonna do a little video on that. But what I'm trying to do currently is find a more affordable option for the Armani ones. These are the ones that Sabrina Carpenter wore on SNL, and let me go, I'll post the video here, but in the meantime, I'm trying to do these two. So this looks pretty pigmented, but it blends out a lot more sheer. So these are serum blushes. So anytime you think of anything serumy, or it's even called cheek tint, think a lot less pigment, and I love them. But y'all, this color right here is hard to dupe. I know y'all are about to hop in my DMs and give me a million suggestions, and I'm gonna take them. In fact, if you want to put the suggestions right here for a dupe for this, go ahead. But I can promise you in my collection, I have so many, and I could not find one with that white of a base. Now I know the number one thing, oh, I should have put the thing. I'm gonna put it here, sorry, I got excited. I know the number one that y'all are gonna say is the Juvia's Place, but it is not the same. That's it right there. See, look how it kind of looks the same in there. In there it looks perfect. Swatch, it's not. I was so excited too because I love Juvia's Place. In the meantime, in fact, these are really pigmented and these work on deeper skin tones as well, which is, I love that. But we are just trying to match that one. This shade is called Blush Lily. So then the next one everybody told me to try. We're just having fun too. I'm gonna do a quick little eye look. We'll do a look, but we're trying to find this. So the next one was this one, which I already have it swatched here, but you can see it's even more different. It's even more sheer in a sense, a very, I feel like it's closer to that one, but then a more sheer version of that. So I love this, by the way. It's beautiful, but it's not the same. Not the same. The closest one in my collection is this one from Made by Mitchell. It's one of his blushes, shade Strawberry Cream. I think that might be where we have to go. It's pretty daggum close. Still not perfect though, but it's more affordable and I feel like it's closer. I'm still searching though. I think Moira Cosmetics might have one too. All right, I found something really fun from Kiko. These are both gonna be from Kiko. We're gonna start the eye look. I'll deal with that in a minute. I'm still deciding stuff. I'm seeing how stuff sits on the skin. I do this. But this Kiko Milano Pearly Eye Base, so it's an eye base, but it's obviously a pearly shade. I'm gonna put some here on my lash line, top and bottom. And the reason why is because I'm gonna start my eyeliner smudge first. And I just need I'll grab a C31. And I'm gonna take this along my lash line. I can work around the mascara. I'm probably gonna throw on some falsies or at least some individuals, so. But I thought this would be fun at first. Get on my lashes. Push it in that way. There we go, we're good. And then the same thing underneath here with that angled side. And we want to go ahead and I'm going to do one eye at a time, and the reason why is because I don't want the base to dry down because I want to use it to my advantage. So I'm going to push it into my lashes. I'm going to do my waterline. There we go. Not too many passes. And then that base, I mentioned that again, it's still staying nice and tacky. That way I can grab an E27 and really smudge. And do this before you do concealer. That way, if we take it down too far, in fact, we can take it down really far. This is a really good tip. All right, get ready for this. Ooh, we're having fun. We're already learning, okay? I wouldn't normally wear it that low, but let's not worry about it because we don't have concealer on, but it's gonna give us a better smudge if we do it this way. I know. It's scary, but it actually ends up being easier. Sometimes when you do these more outrageous things, but you know how to control them, you end up with a better blend. And it's actually so easy to clean this up. So we're gonna grab an E27 and I'm gonna start to tap. Let me come in closer here. So I'm just going to use the side of the brush. I'm just going to smudge. Nice and smudgy. I know it's terrifying, but we don't have our skin evened out. There's so many factors that make where we're at look absolutely terrible, but it's okay. I'm going to show you. We want this just to be extra smudged, and there's really no way to get this extra smudgy smudgel look without it being absolutely horrifying to start with. You can do some little circular motions. And then I'm working one eye at a time so the base doesn't dry down. So let's get over here. And obviously, I do recommend doing your eye makeup before you do mascara, because now I gotta work around the mascara. Don't do that. And by the way, this is kind of a really good tip. I know a lot of times I hear that this style doesn't really look great sometimes, and I don't agree with that. But there is a little bit of a tip. Again, I'm gonna teach you how to kind of blur this. We're not there yet. But you are gonna notice one thing I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna pretty much go really heavy from here back towards the end of the eye. But you're gonna notice that I still smoke this out here, but I leave the rest of it more at an angle. And what that does is it lifts the eyes without having to do a wing. And it also just makes this inner part look a little larger, a little less closed off. So just keep that in mind. It's a lot easier than having to think about all the angles. Just come from underneath. If you just come from underneath in that area, it's so much easier to do. I feel like we started to think, I'm gonna add a little bit more here. We started to think that the only way to get a little bit of shape to the eye was to do a wing. I felt that way, and we as in me, I am her. But if we just do very small angles, and you're gonna see what I'm about to do in just a second, it really lifts the eye without having to put in a lot of effort. All right, let me get this going. I know y'all are just, again, screaming at the screen right now. I know I would be. I'm gonna buff over all of this with my inner rush brush, the E29. And then we're about to grab some micellar water. And then I am gonna put a stick shadow on the rest of my lid. This is so easy. And then you can add shimmer if you want to in a minute. I don't want to yet. I might not. We're gonna see. All right, let's wipe it off on Sheila. Pick up some micellar water, just a little bit, just where the very tip of the bristles are wet. And then all I'm gonna do is kind of shape this back the way that I want it. Okay, that's good, but now I wanna shape it up this way. And it's gonna add that lift. You can take as much as you want off underneath here, but it's also still blending with that micellar water. It's not a harsh line because I'm using a fluffy brush. I'm not getting just a straight up cat eye. Tap that in, and we're still staying, we are still staying nice and smoky. It's not just a harsh line. It's not that I don't like that. I mean, I'm just teaching you a different technique. I don't want you to feel it that's wrong. I like all of it. Y'all know me. I would walk out with that just because I like to look at it. Now I did take it up just a little higher than what you might have thought, and the reason why is because I'm still going to use a lighter shade to smudge it in a second, but we're not there yet. So to me, this already looks so good. This looks so sultry, and I feel like it enhanced my eyes. My eyes look a little bit lighter, but just wait. Okay, now we get to move on to this. I have been using this shade nonstop. Look how much is in here, and let me tell you, I've been using the heck out of it. And I'll have how much it is here on the screen. They're really, really, really affordable. I love the formula, but I will say the picture of this one's a little deceiving. To me, this is just a really nice matte. It looks like it has shimmer, but it does not have shimmer, I promise. What was that? That was about as Texan as it gets. But we're gonna use this, but I'm gonna do it in the next slide, just so you can have the link here if you wanna check it out and the price. Now I'm just gonna take this, and we don't have to put anything on top of it. It's gonna dry down and set itself. I'm gonna tap it, okay? I'm gonna tap it right above our liner color. Then I'm gonna take the side of the E27 and just tap that. Just a few taps, that's good. Just to kind of melt it together. Now I'm just gonna continue with the stick, and this is just such a nice shade. I'd still consider it an eyeshadow shade, but it's basically my eyelid, but tan, and I love that about it, okay? Take it to about right there. Then we're gonna grab our E29, give it a little wipe, and then some buffing motions just to soften it up to the brow bone. Easy peasy. I feel like this is the perfect summer eye to me. Summer evening eye. Oh, and by the way, anytime you have a stick or a liquid, let's not put a base under it, because that actually changes the formula. And the way that most that perform properly, like this one, most pencils, liquids, anything like this, a stick, it doesn't really need a base. So you can go ahead and skip it. It's one of the reasons they're so fast and easy to use. Now, let's go ahead and do the same thing underneath here. Still got to put concealer under there, but we just don't have to take concealer all the way up. And since we're taking this a little lower than usual, we're going to have less creasing. We're cheating the system. You know what? I might be able to skip lashes. I'm just going to reactivate the mascara that I've had on today with my MAC dry shampoo. Lash dry shampoo. I don't want you to think I'm putting hair dry shampoo on there. It's actually going to get in there and correct that base that got on there. This stuff is so spectacular. And then we'll just comb it through with my lash comb. And then I'm going to curl it like I normally do with the powder. Not a gimmick. So I want to keep my makeup pretty minimal. Minimal for me. I always like to say that because I don't want you to feel like you're not doing enough or you're doing too much. We're just having fun, all of us here. So I'm doing my minimal. So I'm going to reach for one of my favorite correctors of all time. This one is, you can see how blue that's pulling. So we definitely need some corrector there. I'm going to put on a little extra. And the reason why is this one's super thin and it's not quite as pigmented as most correctors. And then if you have any kind of corrector or you need to work anything around your eye, we're still going to use the C31. If we're around a fine line or we're trying to work in a small area, this is the brush. Look how much better that looks already. Nice. This is such a good corrector, and I love the pink one too. I'm gonna link it for y'all. It was actually out of stock for a while. I need to check that. Now, if you have this bronzer, which by the way, I love this bronzer, but you know what? I actually like it better under my foundation. It gives such an airbrush quality. So I'm still gonna do foundation, but you know how we were taught, well, you might not. So we were taught that the smallest amount of powder underneath your foundation kind of helps with longevity. It even helps to blur. It has a lot of benefits, but it's such a small amount. And this is such a thin powder and it almost has a cream texture. It's still considered a powder. It is, but it has a very creamy texture and I absolutely love it. So if you have it, try it under your foundation, like an under painting moment. And it's kind of saving a lot of my foundations right now. I'm still going to do, I think I'll still do my Mario bronzing sculpt, but this is a little bit different of a step. And again, it's very scary. But another thing about what we do, another thing I was saying that we do here is we don't do gimmicky stuff. So anything you see me do, yeah, it might be really fun and like, whoa, what is she doing? But makeup can be that fun without being gimmicky and something that doesn't work. I will not teach you or show you anything just for views. What I do works. But I will say color correcting is still wild. It's so wild and it's so much fun. But it's a tried and true situation. I don't just do things like this looks scary. It would get views, right? It works. By the way, this is back in stock. And if you're wondering why I haven't talked about it, because it was out of stock and we couldn't get it. So I love it. It's from Live Tinted. It's their Hue Guard SPF 50. And then I wear shade 10. I'm going to give you the link because it is back. And it's still a tint, but it's still going to be enough to kind of go on top of our bronzer here. And this is going to be the most beautiful summertime skin. I'm actually so excited. I got a little blimmy there. I don't know what's happening there. We're still going to do a little bit of concealer, but not much. And this is a skin tint, but it does have a pretty decent coverage. And it doesn't just absolutely waft sunscreen. I actually don't like tints that are just super, super, super sunscreen sniffy. I don't like that. This does not do that. Now I'm gonna buff this in. I'm also gonna tap. Buffing is circles. I don't really do the circles because I don't want to completely mix all of this together. But I'm using a C41 because I want it to be less coverage. Just kind of lightly even out my tone and mix with that bronzer really nicely. I'm telling y'all, that bronzer under stuff is glass skin delightful. Put a little extra there. Isn't that pretty? I'm so glad this is back. This is, to me, a summer essential. And then I'm just going to do a little bit of my Natasha Denona concealer, but only underneath my eyes. But notice I don't have to take it up as far, and that's going to mean less creasing. I'm trying to decide if I want to put a little bit. I think I might put a little bit here just to carve. Nice. And then I'll do a little on my forehead just for a little extra coverage. And then this little extraction. Yeah, that'll do. So I still needed that precision to make sure that I don't take it up too high. So I did the C31. Now we're gonna switch to this one, which is sold out because y'all really do believe in me and I love y'all for that. Thank you. And I'm just gonna use this one, but it will be back. It might be a little while because I know I mentioned it yesterday, but we are such a small business. We can't just, we have to be very thoughtful. There we go. Just like how I choose my words, how I come on here every day, I'm thoughtful. And we're the same way as a small business. We'll get there. Be patient. Thank you. Look at what a difference. Setting is so important. And y'all, I'm not a spring chicken, but my under eyes are still not suffering. I'm doing my Givenchy powder. And then if you do, actually, let's go ahead and smooth this out a little bit. I have to sneeze. So I do see a lot about setting the under eye, even people saying that they're 30. I'm gonna be 36 this year. I feel that my under eyes, I really don't set them too differently than when I was in my 20s. The only difference now is I'm just a little bit more selective on my concealer. And I have to have a puff. But it's really not that different. But I will say I do love our puffs. I love the shape of the puff. I really love the material. If you have them, you would see that the material is different than, say, the ones that you get on Amazon. But you're also going to notice that I kind of just keep working it back and forth and back and forth. But that's something I did even in I started using a puff when I was, let's see, 2017. That's when I met Laura Mercier, and she showed me. Oh, and I know that most of us watching here, y'all know, but there might be new people. But a lot of times people go, well, maybe it's because you've had fillers. I've had no fillers, none whatsoever. I mean, Lord have mercy, you can see. But it's really just about the skin prep and the technique, because 36 this year, not a spring chicken. And I'm still not looking at my under eye going, oh, I can't do this anymore. In fact, I love the way that it wears still. And it looks good. It looks so good. I'm gonna take a little bit of the bronzer, the NYX one, and I'm just going to press that underneath here just to warm that up underneath there a little bit. We can even put a little bit through the socket and then down the nose. And then for summer, I pulled this back out. I love this. And somehow got put in a drawer. I don't know what happens around here. So I'm gonna use this Niddle as my blush. And it's pretty pigmented, actually. I think I picked up too much. So I'm just gonna apply this, very sun-kissed. Okay, I'm gonna get a little wild with it. We don't get frightened around here. Oh, it's so pretty. It just looks so natural, and you're like, what are you talking about? So then I'm gonna wipe this off, but then I want to find my face powder, and I can't find, oh, I found it. And then I'm gonna take this face powder, and I'm gonna blur it. Wipe off the C41. But there's just a quality, look at that already. There's a quality about this that just gives true, I went on vacation, sun-kissed, almost healing sunburn, and it's so pretty. I'm actually gonna put some on my body too. Oh, and that's my M Cosmetics. Love that. And then I'm going to put some here. But I'm going to grab from the darker part down here. And I'm just going to take it down my little necklace. And then I'm going to grab from the top part because it's more of a highlighting effect. And then I'll just use some more of this, the darker bronze, and I'll just warm up my chest a little bit and kind of even it out. All right, so I'm gonna take this lip liner. This is a really beautiful brown. This one's Kiko Milano. Just wait till you see the lip we're gonna do. We're gonna do the one that lasts 12 hours plus. I'm so excited. Like I said, I gotta go to a dinner meeting, so I don't wanna come up here and touch up. But I am gonna take an E26 and I'm gonna soften this. Just want some definition on the edges. Look at how beautiful this shade is. And then it's gonna cover the brown lip liner, but we're still gonna have definition at the edges. I'm gonna get you a link for this color. It is so pretty. Oh, I love it. This lip color is outstanding. So now we're gonna take this and we put this on top. And then I don't even have to think about my lips anymore. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of hesitated to use these for a little while. I was more attracted to other things from Kiko Milano. But I think these are one of their best products. And if I want to just do a lipstick and not think about it again, it's these. And they're so comfortable. I've never put on a liquid lip that just feels like a second skin. Now, if somebody wants to go on vacation with me, we can do our makeup like this right after we get back from the hotel, and we have our little sun-kissed skin and salt in our hair, and then we could do our makeup like this, and then we can go out to dinner. Any takers? Let's do some highlighter. I love these. I feel bad for loving these. I'm gonna use the gold one. But you're gonna notice what I'm doing here. This is a really good tip. So I really evened it out on my skin here. And then we're gonna pick it up with a brush, because that wand, once you already have makeup on, not a good idea. Ooh, I almost showed you a brush that we are nowhere near releasing. Okay, so we're gonna pick this up on our C41, and I'm just going to, no texture, I promise. I am so anti-texture, but I absolutely love these. I love them. I find any excuse to use them. Maybe it's because they were so spicy priced. But I'm able to use them to adjust, highlight, so many different ways. Oh gosh, that looks so good. Love it. Love. All right, I love you so much. I gotta go do my hair and get dressed. By the way, this might be a deal breaker. If Rose is involved, we're eating no later than, first of all, we gotta go somewhere where we can sit outside because the bronchitis is still lightly bronchitising. But then we are not gonna eat any later than 5:30. I don't know. I eat early. And I always have, but I just love eating early. I love you all so much. I'm not gonna post tonight because I'll be in a meeting and I wanna just be thoughtful and present. But I love you with all of my heart. And I'm gonna go save that yesterday's look to my highlights right now. Love you.